Hey y'all, welcome back. So today, I've decided to do a sew-in over my dress. This is my braid down. I just basically braided them straight back, and kind of parted it where I want my lace closure to be. What I'm doing now is just oiling my scalp. I like for my scalp to be really oily when I put my wig or like do a weave on my head because it's gonna get dry over time. Now I haven't did a sewing y'all on myself in literally probably like 4 years. So I'm really excited about this. So what I'm doing now is I have this stretchy net and I'm just gonna sew it on around the perimeter of my braids. And the net does two things. It helps you sew where there is no hair, and it also holds your sew-ins down like flatter. It helps them last a little longer. Okay, so I'm going to sew around the perimeter all the way to the back, and then I'm going to come back to the front and sew the other side down. I'm going to go around where I want my part at, so I'm going to make like a little U shape with my needle and thread, and then I'm just going to continue to sew it around and down through the back of my head. So once you have the net completely sewn around on the anchor braid only, which is the last bottom braid, you want to cut the extra net off. And so y'all, I'm so mad because this part I did not get to record, but I'm just gonna explain it to you. So what I did first was add an elastic band to my closure, one of the little ones, and I used that so that I will be able to hold my closure down. Now, after I got my closure stationed where I want it, I just simply sewed the back of the closure down, well, the sides and the back of the closure. Now, the band, you can choose to leave it on or not, but I'm going to leave it on because it doesn't bother me, and like it definitely holds my closure down. This is just something I do when, well, I used to do when I did my own sew-ins. But when I do other people's sew-ins, there's other ways. Like you can do an anchor with a net, or you can do all sorts of things. But this is what just works for me personally. And so this is how it's looking. The closure's all, the hair is all going crazy. So after I part it and braid it into different braids, I'm just gonna start to add the rest of the bundles in. Alright, and this is how it looks once I started to add some of the tracks in. I am doubling this hair because I do have locks like we discussed previously, and I don't need thin hair. Due to the fact that I do have locks, I need my weave to be thicker. Okay? So I went ahead and doubled these tracks. This is the same hair that I used when I made the wig. I think it was like a quick weave wig. I made it with glue. So I just removed the hair from the wig, washed it and everything, and now I'm sewing it in my head. Now, when you are sewing it in, there's really not a certain type of way that I sew. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I go under, but definitely use the net because using the net, that does a couple things. Like, for one, it takes all the tension off of your hair because I noticed once I was done, like my hair, it was tight. It was tight, like, okay, this ain't coming out, but it wasn't tight to where I couldn't sleep or I had a headache. Also, when you're sewing, if you have some spots, like for me, I had some spots where my braids were a little bigger. All you have to do is press down when you sew the hair in. You're going to press down and it's going to make the track and the whole install lay flatter. Now, what I'm doing now is just setting my lace closure, putting a little foam on it, make it lay flat. And then I'm just going to pull it all back in a ponytail and do these little edges. I'm just gonna add a little bit and swoop it back, nothing too serious. And so after I do this, what I'm going to do is tie it up. Alright, so after a long day of dyeing this hair and all kind of stuff, I'm finally done and I'm just gonna tie it down and go to bed. If y'all want to see the finishing result, be sure to look at part 2. It will be up very soon, or I will list it below.